whatever the Democratic leadership may think they want to do on trade, they are going to finally respond to the fundamental will of the American people. As will the Republicans. I mean, over time, the politicians, they're tropic to the will of the people. They may try to avert it, manipulate it, but if they can't be averted, manipulated, they succumb to it. And if, in fact, free trade is seen by the American people not to be good for the American people, then the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, and there may be a rush once the Republican Party gets into the fight. If the American public is 2-1 against free trade, you may see both parties rushing to
Well, then you're talking about the collapse of the WTO.
Well, yes, that's my concern. Yeah. And the danger is that if sensible compromises can't be reached earlier, we'll have a fight between the two parties to win the hearts and minds of the American public that is shifting excessively protectionist, although they probably should shift just a little bit out of their own self-interest.
Well, my last thought on this is, if you don't, look, whatever it takes, whatever policies it takes, whatever magic wands waving, if the gap between the super rich and the rest of the people in this country, and others, by the way, keeps going like this, you're not going to have any support in either party, at the base of either party, for trade.
I agree. I mean, the difference between the pay rates of the CEO and the average worker has just been expanding. And
that's, we're seeing a backlash.
And America, by the way, has been blessed with having a population that has never been jealous of wealth. Most Americans want to become wealthy. They tend to resent poor people rather than rich people.
Right.
But this is going to test that instinct.
And this is, some conservatives, and I don't think you're one of them, would like to say, well, this is all AFL-CIO. It's not AFL-CIO. It's not the trade union movement. They're not that powerful anymore. There are all sorts of forces. The reason so many Republicans are anti-trade now is not because of the AFL-CIO. It's because of what they're seeing in their communities.
Well, let me tell you, I mean, just referring to me, I'm still free trade, but I read Paul Samuelson's article a few years back in, 2004, I think. Paul Samuelson, the great textbook writer, free trade is the greatest economist of the second half of the 20th century, who had second thoughts about free trade and the advantage to America of free trade. Now, he didn't come definitively against it, but the fact that this icon of economic American free trade could question whether the principles apply in a time when, instead of having worried about the wage rates in Lisbon, you're worried about the wage rates in China and India as deranging the principles that work to our advantage. I think it's not just AFL-CIO. There are bigger tectonic forces in play that are shifting attitudes.
And you know what? There's not going to be any trade agreements passed by Congress with all due respect to these organizations, the Business Roundtable, the Chamber of Commerce, etc., pushing them. There's going to have to be a much more broad-based coalition that says this is good, religious groups or whatever.
I called for a debate in my column. That doesn't mean anything, but I think there is going to be, sometime in the next few years, a building national debate over what's in America's interest. And that's going to be, I think, the most important debate that I want to be involved in as a columnist. I want to be involved in it in a professional capacity, because I think that how that debate gets shaped and understood will determine the prosperity for the future of capitalist activities around the world.